community ought to support the Libyan army and to support Libya. We cannot wait anymore. There is a sense of urgency following these rising challenges that have been posed by ISIS in Libya. There has been much focus on Iraq and Syria in terms of ISIS, but we would like to see the same attention be provided to Libya and the Libyan people. Not least because the Libya security situation has had some spillovers into Tunisia, Algeria, Niger, Chad and Egypt, as this beheading have brought to light recently. So the threats that Libya is faced with are potentially dangerous for Europe too. Libyan shores are not far from Italian and European shores. So we have got the international community to be adequately responsive in terms of providing the Libyan army of the weaponry and the adequate military equipment to fight terrorism.
What level of support are you looking for and from whom? Are we talking about ground forces? Are we talking about British, American and French joining in the aerial assault that Egypt is mounting? I mean, what from the government's perspective would you like?
The threats that are currently posed to Libya and to the international community are limited to some thousands of ISIS fighters in Libya. So we would like to request proportionally an adequate assistance to the Libyan army directly. We are not asking for a military intervention from any international or European forces. There have been some restrictions that have been posed since 2011, not least because of the UN Security Council 1973. We would like that the Security Council lift those restrictions and provide Libya with the adequate support for the time being. Otherwise, Libya would slip into a chaos that we have witnessed in Syria and Iraq. For the time being, the threats are rising. ISIS is expanding in Libya, but for the time being, the Libyan army is saying that it's adequately equipped in terms of troops, in terms of air force capabilities to fight the threats that have been posed by ISIS and other terrorist groups such as Ansar Sharia in Libya.
As you know, there are reports today that the insurgents, the anti-government forces, have achieved some airstrikes in Libya. Does that mean that you would like to see other countries joining Egypt in carrying out aerial air cover and aerial assaults on rebel targets?
The Egyptian army has carried out with the Libyan Air Force some strikes on Monday morning. The Libyan army has been fighting the terrorists in Benghazi, and we are about to free Benghazi soon from the presence of terrorists, not to mention that we have been fighting Derna too. If we were to have the adequate weaponry, our army is able to fight terrorism in Sirte, in other hotbeds of terrorism in Libya. Indeed, we are not yet present in Tripoli. We have positively contributed to the Geneva process that has been spearheaded by UN Special Representative Bernardino Leon. We would like to bring about a political solution to the Libya political crisis by bringing through a government of national unity. We are committed to that, but at the same time there is a sense of urgency, and we have got to adequately and swiftly address the rising challenges that have been posed by terrorism in Libya.
Finally, what would you say to people in this country, Britain, but also in the United States, who say, well, with hindsight, it was a mistake for us to support the forces overthrowing President Gaddafi, because for the people of Libya, we've only made the situation worse and security worse?
Tunisia, Libya and Egypt people have fought some brutal and repressive regime in the past. As of 2011, and we are saying that we are able to fight terrorism in Libya with the need to bring about a democratic and legitimate government and legitimate democratic process in Libya, in Tunisia and in Egypt too.